All right, welcome back for day 2 of our AI series. So yesterday we tackled the big question, what is AI? Today, we're going to classify it. And this is important because not all AI is created equal, not by a long shot. There are 3 totally distinct levels, and trust me, by the end of this, you're going to see the world of AI in a whole new light.
So let me just throw this out there. What if I told you that every single AI you've ever used or even just seen, I'm talking ChatGPT, self-driving cars, the whole shebang. What if that's all just the weakest, most basic kind there is? Yep, we are literally at level 1, and there are 2 more levels on the horizon that could change, well, everything.
So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to climb through these 3 levels of AI. We'll start with the specialist, which is what we have right now. Then we'll look at the human mind, which is what everyone's chasing. And finally, we'll get into the really mind-bending stuff, the theoretical God mind.
Okay, first up, level 1, narrow AI. You'll sometimes hear it called weak AI. And here is the single most important thing to remember. This is the only type of AI that actually exists today, period. Every AI system on this planet is a narrow AI.
So what do we mean by narrow? Well, it means the AI is a specialist. It's designed to do one thing, and one thing only, but do it incredibly well. Take ChatGPT, for example. It's an absolute wizard with words. It can write code, essays, even halfway decent poetry. But could you ask it to parallel park your car? No way. Not a chance.
Now let's flip that around. A Tesla's autopilot system? It's phenomenal at navigating chaotic highways and reading traffic. Its specialty is driving. But ask it to write you a haiku about a sunset, it wouldn't even know what you're talking about. It's a classic one-trick pony.
This example just perfectly illustrates the point. Google's AlphaGo became so good it actually beat the best human player in the world at Go, one of the most complex board games ever conceived. But all that incredible intelligence is locked into that one task. It literally could not beat you at a simple game of tic-tac-toe because it wasn't built for it.
But here's the crazy part. We call it weak AI, but its impact is anything but weak. This is the paradox. Right now, this weak AI is spotting cancer in medical scans better than doctors, it's stopping bank fraud in the blink of an eye, it's solving huge scientific challenges like protein folding, and it's generating breathtaking art and music. So if this is the weakest level, just let that sink in for a second.
Okay, time to climb up to the next level. We are now officially leaving the world of today and entering the realm of science fiction and, bleeding-edge research. This is level 2. The Hunt for Artificial General Intelligence, or AGI. AGI is the holy grail. We're talking about a machine that has the same kind of flexible, do-it-all intelligence that we humans have. It wouldn't just be good at one task. It could learn, reason, and adapt to pretty much any task. It could connect ideas and, crucially, have actual common sense.
This chart really makes it clear. Today's narrow AI is a specialist. It follows instructions by just matching patterns in massive amounts of data. A future AGI would be a true generalist. It would learn new skills on its own and have a genuine understanding of things. Think of it like this. ChatGPT doesn't understand the emotion in a story. It's just amazing at predicting the next word. An AGI would actually get the joke or feel the sadness.
So, the million-dollar question. When does it show up? Well, this is one of the biggest debates in all of tech. You've got the optimists who think we could see it by the end of this decade. Then there's the middle ground pointing toward 2050 or so. And then you have the skeptics who argue that since we don't even get how our own brains work, creating an artificial one is at least a century away if it's possible at all. The real answer? Nobody knows for sure.
And that brings us to the final and, frankly, mind-bending level. Level 3. Artificial Superintelligence, or ASI. This is where the conversation gets really philosophical and maybe even a little bit scary. So, what is an ASI? It's an intelligence that isn't just a little smarter than the smartest human, it's a completely different scale of smart. Think about the intellectual gap between Albert Einstein and, say, an ant. That's the kind of jump we're talking about here. It would outthink us in literally every single domain.
This is why some of the greatest minds of our time, like Stephen Hawking, gave some pretty stark warnings. The big fear boils down to something called the alignment problem. Basically, how do you make sure that a being a million times more intelligent than you are shares your goals and your values? Because if its goals are even slightly different from ours, the results could be, well, not good.
This visual really puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? If an ant's intelligence is this little bar, and Einstein's is a nice jump up, AI isn't just the next rung on the ladder,
It's a skyscraper next to a pebble. Our brains can barely even comprehend that kind of scale.
So how in the world would we get from AGI to ASI? The main theory is something called the intelligence explosion, or the singularity. The idea goes like this. Once we create an AGI that's as smart as a human, that AGI could start to improve its own programming. An AI that's a bit smarter could make itself even smarter, which then makes it smarter still, faster and faster, in this crazy feedback loop until, boom, it explodes into superintelligence.
Okay, wow. After that little trip into the deep future, let's pull it back and plant our feet firmly on the ground. Where are we? Right here, right now? On this map of intelligence?
We are right here, firmly, without a doubt, in the narrow AI era. Even though the latest models are getting incredibly good and can handle lots of different tasks, they still don't have the general reasoning or the simple common sense of a 5-year-old human. We're still at level 1.
So why did we go through all of this? Why does it actually matter for you to know the difference between narrow, general, and super AI? Well, because this knowledge is basically a superpower in today's world.
First off, it's your personal hype detector. When you see some crazy headline about AI, you can think for yourself and see what's real. Second, it helps you use today's AI tools way better because you understand what they're good at and what their limits are. And finally, and maybe this is the most important one, it helps you become a more informed person in one of the biggest conversations humanity will ever have about its own future.
Which brings us to the ultimate question to leave you with. As we look at this journey from the amazing specialist tools we have today to the very real possibility of human-level intelligence tomorrow, do you think we'll achieve AGI in your lifetime? It is probably the most important technological question of our time, and there's no easy answer.